Today we go over exciting news for Star Wars Episode 9, the final film of the Skywalker saga. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, these past couple of days we've been hearing a whole lot more about the final film of this movie. In fact, just a couple of days ago we got our very first look at the movie, where J.J. Abrams and crew shared a first behind-the-scenes look at Episode 9 inside of the cockpit of the Falcon with both Rey, Chewie, and Finn in his new outfit. So, these past couple of weeks as well, we have been learning a lot more about the movie, what's going on, certain locations that they will be using for principal photography, apparently one of which will be over in Jordan, the same exact location that served for Jeddah City in Rogue One, and the original location for the planet of Jakku, which ended up being Abu Dhabi. Now, today I wanted to go over very interesting stuff, all thanks to Star Wars Newsnet in talking with ABC's Clayton Sandell, who in turn also talked with Carrie Fisher's brother, Todd Fisher, and they were talking about Episode 9 and what fans can expect, and more things about Carrie Fisher. So you guys may or may not have heard, I'll say this again in case you guys didn't. Just a couple of days ago, we heard the big news that Carrie Fisher will be back in Episode 9 by use of unused footage from The Force Awakens. However, in a recent interview, alright, ABC's Clayton Sandell with, talking with Star Wars Newsnet, the full article can be found below in the description. Alright, he was talking with Carrie Fisher's brother, and this is what he had to say. Not only are huge, big surprises coming for Episode 9, but Carrie Fisher, alright, as Leia, they will also not only be using unused footage from The Force Awakens, but unused footage from The Last Jedi. This is what Clayton Sandell had to say about what Todd Fisher told him. So Clayton says, I talked to Todd Fisher today about all of this, and he has been talking with J.J. Abrams about it. I asked him, because the press release only said The Force Awakens, so I asked about The Last Jedi, and they are also using unused footage from The Last Jedi. I asked him how many minutes of footage they had from it, and he said, I can't tell you that. He, Todd Fisher, said there were big surprises coming. Big surprises with this movie, this performance, and the unused footage, and said this one is really for the fans. But they apparently have a number of unused minutes from both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Todd and the whole family are very excited and wanted it to happen. So guys, I gotta say, this interview is just really exciting to listen to. It's really boosting up my enthusiasm for Episode 9 a whole lot more. We have heard this, from J.J. Abrams before in the past, that he will be implementing a lot of prequel trilogy content as well as original trilogy content, and I think that is exactly what Todd Fisher here is kind of, nodding to without revealing too much. I think that's what he's nodding to. That, or, of course, that there's going to be a lot of cameos in this movie. Of course, a couple of weeks ago, we heard from the Weekly Planet that Lucasfilm, J.J. Abrams, Disney, you name it, they were all toying around with the idea of making Snoke Darth Plagueis. Not necessarily being in the movie as Darth Plagueis, but stating that he was Darth Plagueis at one point in time. And apparently they're messing around with the ideas of including a Force Ghost version of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, and supposedly Episode 9 is going to be a very fan-servicey movie. So you can expect a lot of cameos, a lot of returning planets and familiar places and familiar quotes, you name it. But that to me isn't a bad thing as long as it's not, overboard and doesn't really serve a purpose, as long as these moments serve a purpose. For example, if Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi pop up, have them pop up for a reason, right? Just don't throw them in there. I mean, I'm always happy to see them for no reason, but it's always better to give it purpose, right? It's always better for it to serve the story. And for me, I think it would be great if Anakin's Force Ghost appeared in front of Kylo Ren. Could you imagine how big of a moment that would be of both grandson and grandfather reuniting, or meeting for the first time, I should say, where Anakin Skywalker is guiding Kylo Ren back to the light, or at least trying to guide him back. That to me would be the only way, or the most realistic way, to shift him back to the light, since Kylo Ren looks up to his grandfather, Darth Vader. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this big news for Episode 9 and what Todd Fisher had to say about these big surprises coming for this movie, and that this film is really for the fans. So I think that Todd Fisher really does see everything that's going on within the Star Wars community right now. I mean, how couldn't he, right? I think he realizes that, you know, it's the hardcore fans who see these movies, geez, like 4, 5, 6, 7 times, right? And they purchase all the merchandise, and they do all of these different things that really just bring in the money for Disney. So, if they get this right, I think that Star Wars will be A-okay as long as everything is done perfectly. You know, with Luke Skywalker, Lando Calrissian, Leia, whatever JJ and Chris Terrio have to do, or what they have done in the script, I should say. I'm just hoping that it's going to be the best Star Wars movie in the sequel trilogy, and I've said this many times before. My theory is that Episode 9 is going to mirror that of Revenge of the Sith, where it's the best film of its own trilogy. So if you look at Attack of the Clones and The Phantom Menace, really, you know, those two movies, generally speaking, most people favor Revenge of the Sith over those two. This could be the same exact thing for the sequel trilogy, where Episode 9, we favor this one over the past two films. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.